up to 12. Here comes Garso as well.
Garso, it looks like Bezzecchi had a big moment. Was he helped by?
Membingungkan cuacanya.
Betul. Ini mendung-mendung kan kemarin tuh sempat mendung. Oh ini pure matahari.
Ada hujan di beberapa daerah juga nih ya buat MV
Agusta.
Nah ini ada Hector Garzo, ada Bezzecchi, nyaman sekali dia. Ramirez juga. Nah Jorge Martin ini juga salah satu rider yang bisa bikin PR juga nih, ya kan?
Betul.
Nah, ini Bastian ini. Terus ada Xavi Vierge juga di grid 13. Nah, kemarin tuh sangat disayangkan gitu ya Sam Lowe's tuh, aduh.
Kalau mamanya dia mungkin saat untuk kita kemenangan, tidak mau pusing apakah itu beresiko atau tidak.
Waktu minggu lalu harusnya poin aja udah cukup ya nggak sih? Sebelumnya race di Valencia ini kan selalu menjadi race pamungkas.
Betul.
Terakhir. Nah, sirkuit kalau buat aku nggak susah-susah amat gitu. Tapi ternyata justru di tahun ini banyak sekali kesulitannya.
Setuju gitu ya. Nih Valencia kedua.
Aduh, oke kita akan langsung saja bergabung dengan Valencia GP untuk menyaksikan live race untuk kelas Moto.
This morning's warm-up session. He's now got 25 coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be a race. Could Stefano Manzi break the record to become the 26th different winner across all classes in this clash?
No, all I wanted to do was tell you I did my best to get someone to comment how he was after warm. Doesn't speak on the grid, and there was no one there willing to talk or spoke English, you know, so sorry about that.
Place, but yeah, it's going to be grueling.
He was having a proper chuckle on social media this morning, wasn't he, Alex Lowe's, of course, on Twitter this morning saying very much looking forward to his Moto 2 debut.
Well, if he'd have come out this morning, he wouldn't have known the difference. The final four. One of these four men will be crowned Moto 2 world champion. If Bezzecchi wins here again today, then the championship does run on to Portugal. So that's something for him to think about. And where does Enea Bastianini, or does it get wrapped up here today? Bit of a delay for the lights, but eventually they are out and we are underway. Coming through Bezzecchi though, and it looks like he might come through to lead into turn one. A perfect start for him, or is he?
Start from Jorge Martin, it looks like he actually ran Bezzecchi wide, didn't he, to the curb. Those two have got history in Moto.
It's a little bit through turn four. It's Martin then that leads from Manzi. Wide there is Bo Bensnyder. Further back is Sam Fernandez.
Yeah, it's all boxing up tight there between Gardner and Fernandez through turn 5. There's Lorenzo
Barres and Bensnyder, who's had a great start. He's making headway already. He's up to 8th behind Gartho, who did not get off the line.
Aggressive up the inside of Bezzecchi on the brakes into the first corner. Got to go a long way back then to see Sam Lowe's.
So Martin, can he break away out front ahead of Stefano Manzi?
Trying to hang on to the back of his injured teammate Augusto Fernandez. They battered the of course, with a broken big toe on his left foot.
Nice move that from Enea Bastianini. He goes up into 9th ahead of Marcos from Schreider.
A few strong battles those two had in the past in Moto 3, of course. Fabio Di Gianantonio. We've now got a Calex, a Speed Up and an MV chassis on the top 3.
Booligan, big points for him. He's in the points again. Baldassarri had a horror start. He's down to 15th, just one place ahead of
German through that fast kink turn 7, and he'll have the inside line to hold it, the tight line through this tight.
That if he can get through to join these guys and ultimately lead with Bastianini where he is, the championship's back on for him.
So he fights straight back. That's the way to do it. If you get past, try and lunge it straight back up the inside of the man to the hands of Luca Marini.
Oh, where's Bo Bensnyder? I thought he was going to make a lunge on Luca Marini there into 14 place. Across the line we go. 35.6 for Di Gianantonio. He was slightly quicker.
Battle at the moment for 5th place, and Schrotter says no, I'm not having that. Takes the inside line on between that pair over the last lap or so.
Through turn 4, there is your top 4.
Then it's Schrotter. Gartho. He moves up now then into 9th.
Remy Gardner is up into 15th, one place ahead of Baldassarri. We're on board here. Former teammates at Grassini in Moto 3.
Manzi still
said yesterday he felt like he had the speed to be able to join these guys on the podium.
The Italian starting to be part of the famed and hailed VR46 Academy.
Can he bow out with another race victory? Through turn 14, he stays out. It's just to warm up a bit, and then we'll see whether or not he's got anything left in him.
Nicely done, Italian on Italian. So Bezzecchi back on the podium place as the race with Sari. Looked promising in qualifying, started 8th. He's had a pretty rough ride so far in the first 3 laps.
Be 20 points down if the flag came out now.
Pretty respectable pace given his physical condition. Martin on that last circuit. The only two men in the 35s on the last lap.
If things were to stay the way they are right now, he'd take 13 points going into Portugal.
Absolutely. Still playing to 5 days' time.
The only problem is, of course, he's only got a couple of days for the hand to recover.
Yeah, and it's is it?
Although Sam was mustard on it in World Supersport days, but
exit speed and straight line speed. Bezzecchi didn't even have to work for that move into second place, and Betz in the Aragon double header, because Marco Bezzecchi, it could get better. He's got plenty of time to reel in and pass
out if he can make one more spot up. Let's watch this then. Both of them on the rear there had moments, Martin and Gian
Antonio came out of the worst of that, didn't he? He lost more drive and acceleration than what Jorge Martin. Another position and point gain for the Italian on the Italtrans racing machine. That means he's eked his advantage in the
keeping good rhythm.
This is the man that we need to be looking at. Perfect time. Marco Bezzecchi, fastest lap of the race on that 5.687 on that last lap, 3/10 quicker than Jorge Martin. Of course, it would have.
Turn 14 then, lovely stuff from the number 72, and he leads across the line and would.
The 72 turned 22 just a few days ago, trying to give himself a big belated birthday present. 12 points now down on Enea Bastianini.
Incredible, isn't it? Absolutely incredible. That was a lovely move there. Door left slightly ajar from Jorge Martin. Through goes Fabio Di Gianantonio. In MotoGP are in P1 and P2 at the moment.
Huge credit to Sam Lowes. His last lap, putting his teeth, really digging deep here just to try and potentially rescue some points from a
won't it? Yeah. That's a long race left for him. 20 laps in total. Half a second clear and a bit more of Enea Bastianini. That is the gap right there. The Italtrans rider. Can he try and break up this lead pack? Fabio Di Gianantonio right on his case. There was 2 DNFs in the last 5 races. He's either fantastic or he's on the floor, Di Gianantonio. Faster than Bezzecchi ahead of him. You're watching here, it's like watching 2018 Moto3. These were the top of the world champion that year, but they all know each other very well.
Yeah, not the first.
Marcos Ramirez well out of the seat, but he remains upright. You can see he's just wide there. As he
turned 6, there was definitely looked like there was a bike going through the gravel trap.
And it is Marcos Ramirez with his machine, but ultimately, a couple of corners later, the bike cries no more, and Ramirez is out.
At the moment, has not been able to make any big impression to get on the case of Jorge Martin. A little bit of it because he's under real pressure from Hector Garzo, who gets up the inside of the German in the final corner there. Those two have swapped over the last few laps. Good scrap that. Garzo fifth.
Garzo's got the pace to run with these guys.
5.726, a PB lap from the 33, who's starting to really hunt down Luca Marini.
World Championship leader at the moment, steadily going about his business.
And he knows he needs the points. Every single point, absolutely precious for Enea Bastianini.
Behind
out the podium battle here.
To Gianantonio here and Martin. Further behind Bastianini, Navarro's in 9th, then it's Ben Snyder, Vieche, Garbuliga, Baldassari and Canet. As a result of Ramirez going down, Sam Lowes is in 21st now. Altogether, he had a couple of tumbles here this weekend as well.
Yeah, not the way that Tom Luthi was hoping to mark his milestone. Andrea Dovizioso raced in more Grand Prix than the Swiss rider. But his dismal run of form.
Rider Hector Garzo, and he's now challenging Stefano Manzi. Here he comes then, the number 40. That's excellent rhythm. You feel that the Spanish rider will be able to join Jorge Martin in the battle for the podium.
Points in 7 of the last 9, 4 top 10s in that bunch of strong results as well. World Cup, of course, in the past.
Well, the thing is as well, that should really prick the ears up of the current Moto 12.
Absolutely.
In the Moto E World Cup, and you may well end up here.
Well, they wouldn't have been regrouped. He has somewhat, but only 14th at the moment.
Hey, Martin just being given to live with this pace in 5th on the Forward Racing MV Augusta. Trotter just back, and Bastianini.
Yeah, credit to Luca Marini because he's been able to keep that gap.
Yeah, he's done it again.
Lap, Steve. That's brilliant. Look at that, a 35.291. And he's faster by some distance.
Outstanding job.
Jorge Martin's got big problems coming very shortly.
Might be in the next couple of corners. Andy in the front ahead of Kazma Daniel. 6.1 is a pretty good lap time, all things considered.
Full respect, given his physical comps. Probably 2 or 3 times the size it should be. Probably having to wear a bigger glove, I'd imagine, today, Sam Lowe.
This weekend, here comes the move from Gartho. He thought about it, didn't he? He really thought about that, and he's got a massive picture of his dog.
Slammed the door shut in his face there into turn 11, and now Bastianini has been able to latch back onto Luca Marini. Boss Milena Kerner was hoping for a double top 10 today. That's not happening. Gian Antonio scrappy on the gas again, straight, and just like Bezzecchi did a few laps ago, Martin doesn't really have to work that hard for the pass. Although the Gian Antonio first corner could scrap that.
And here comes Gartho as a result. He's got the inside line because Martin lost the momentum, and Hector Gartho now.
Well,
Tom Luthi has just been given a track limits warning. Stefano Manzi, has he gone down? Has Stefano Manzi crashed? That gives another prized precious point to Enea Bastianini, by the way.
Turn 2 then as Cortez, 1976, 44 long years, the long wait for a podium for that legendary Italian.
This was the crash then. Yeah, just front
corner,
end folding, mid-corner. Fellow Italian Luca Marini as he tries to find a way through and take another point. There's another track limits warning coming in elsewhere.
Under 2/10 faster than Marini ahead of him. These two are going to want to dispense of Marcel Schroeder pretty quickly. Podium battle.
So across the line then, 11 laps completed, 14 to go. Place, and he's just put in his fastest lap of the race at 35.9 for Sam Lowe. That's the same time.
Getting a standing ovation. Absolutely awesome performance that by Sam Lowe.
Nothing wrong with his point of the race if he can manage that pain and it's all warmed up a bit and he can just carry on going. He might up front. There is the leading quartet just going through. Just behind them, Enea Bastianini currently in 7th place. As it stands, there'd be 4 right.
He discovered his golden winning touch at the perfect time. If he can hang on to victory here today, that would be back-to-back DNS in Aragon. I think himself there, Bezzecchi, almost put his hands up and conceded the World Championship.
Until it's over, especially in this 2020 season.
The fat lady not quite in full voice just
now, the Aussie.
I'm going to say at the moment, Jorge Martin's struggling at the moment to run.
Board with Bastianini. He's keeping a close eye on this 7.
Yeah, you know that this man doesn't normally tend to have to worry about touching that rear tyre to attack hard in the last sort of 6, 7, 8 laps. Third.
Tom Luthi's 300th Grand Prix appearance is not a pretty one. He's dropped the R46 Academy rider Marco Bezzecchi.
Well, on the initial World Championship calendar, Autumn was added. Well, Tom Luthi was probably wishing this was the last race because his form has just
front covered by 1.4 seconds. Luca Marini a 35.6. Luthi up ahead. Lowe's just put in his fastest lap of the race, a 35.9.
To be doing 35 Lowe's, riding way and above and beyond the Call of Duty right now. Absolutely incredible. You can see there with the better pace. Last time around, Martin was back in the 36s. Worryingly for him, Marini
was out of the seat just a moment ago. A couple of corners back, and that is allowed
Navarro as well. You know how good he is as well. Late on in races, the speed up chassis does tend to
becoming used to watching Moto. It's a lot of battles going on. It's a proper chess match again. Here's Sam Lowe then, here, of the Swiss rider.
It's one of the most puzzling questions of the whole year across all 3 World Championship classes. Who's going to be a big-time serious contender for the title this year? That wasn't a ridiculous. It's worse and worse for the Swiss man.
That puts Sam Lowe then up into 18th place. He's only so next on his list is teammate Augusto Fernandez. Joe Robbins is in 15th. Here is Bastianini then, still in 7th place. He's being caught.
Touched slightly with Bezzecchi and the Gian Antonio ahead of him. Garso, though, in turns, got about a second ahead. He's just set his fastest lap of the race, a 35.677. That's why he's starting to put real pressure on Martin.
To the season so far for the Moto3 World Champion, has it?
No, it didn't really build on the momentum and confidence from those couple of... So we talked about how strong Jorge Navarro potentially is going to be in the latter stages. He's just set his... It's quicker than Bastianini on that last lap.
Interesting that, isn't it? That's another point lost then. That means Bezzecchi.
Move there by Navarro, textbook into turn 14. In Italtrans Racing.
Well, there's still a lot of race left. A lot can change.
Absolutely.
But a firm grasp on it going into Portugal. As it stands, it wouldn't be so bad.
Antonio right now for the win, isn't it? Because Garso's now a second behind that top 2. They've got clear daylight between a second, and Martin now is under serious pressure of dropping a few places here. Schrotter, Marini, that's not form and orderly queue, is there, is it, in Moto 2?
It's nice to see Marcel Schrotter back up inside the top 8. That's so really nice to see him coming through, and he's trying to find a way past Jorge Martin, down tenths on that last lap.
Yeah, high 135s now from back of the tenths quicker. So he certainly hasn't got the speed of Navarro at this stage of the race. This absolutely brilliantly to keep his World Championship hopes alive. Marco Bezzecchi, so many people, half laps to go of the penultimate race, and he's going to be going into Portimao just 12 points behind the Grand Prix.
Yeah, and with the form of coming into it, with back-to-back victories as well, which is perhaps even third. Still no change in the order here with these 5 riders. That's Martin in 4th, back to Bastianini, who's still in 9th. It would be a great top 10 finish for the Dutchman.
Well, I've got to say, that would be an absolutely awesome ride by Bench. History beckoning for the Dutchman if he can hang off or keep at bay the charge of Gardner and Baldassarri. Front brake on, still trying to turn. Oh, he's down. How many times has Jorge Navarro blown massive? Just another to add to the catalogue of big mistakes from Navarro into the first corner.
Happens far too often for Jorge Navarro.
7th DNF of the year, Steve. 7.
A little bit to the slipstream under braking as well into turn 1. It was a similar crash to Alex Martin. These are the 2 Italians though that lead. Bezzecchi and Di Gian Antonio.
5.73. 4 tenths quicker on that last lap than Garso ahead of him, and the Gian Antonio. Bezzecchi will not want to yield and surrender these 5 points because they're going to be pivotal in the championship. Turn point of Sam Lowe's racing career, that's for sure. What the points make though, prizes. Will it be the right hand injury to take the Moto 2 World Championship?
7 laps to go with Martin, Schrotter, Marini, and there's a bit of a gap then where Navarro was back to. Wouldn't be a big surprise, would it, given what we've seen of the speed ups over the last couple of years.
And of course he's been sat behind of exactly what are Bezzecchi's strengths and weaknesses here. Again, look at that through turn number 8.
Making 5 points and a victory away from Marco Bezzecchi. Fascinating coming into the final. So can he hold on to what would be a brilliant podium? Well, there's track limit warning coming here for Martin, his teammate.
Over here from Digia, because at the moment he's just struggling to go with Luca Marini. In fact,
yeah, that is a big gap, isn't it, forming between Marini and Bastianini.
Niccolo Buliga, the Italian, has just taken Xavi Vierge for 12th place.
Point.
There's a couple of beaten up riders in the same camp. Lowe's with the busted right, huge high side in the rain conditions here last weekend. Now then, the Gian Antonio, still he's right there. Every time he comes over the start finish line now, it'll be +0 to
Fabio Di Gian Antonio, your classic turn 11 move.
And he just used the better corner speed through turns 9. That Bezzecchi had nowhere to go, nowhere to turn in. Just run him out onto the dirty part of the circuit. Bezzecchi couldn't get a hash of turn 14, and all the hard work has got to be done all over again. That was a real big mistake by the...
So it's take 2. In the background there, Martin goes through on Hector Garth for him, just missing out on a podium. So Martin goes through. Schrotter's got some good speed late on here as well.
Than the top 2 men in the race at the moment. And Jorge Martin, if he carries on this kind of pace, well, he's going to...
Antonio, he's right back in contention again here. He's managed to make light work of that 4/10.
Looking for a retaliatory move on the brakes into turn 1, but he just made a real big mistake down the hill.
From Fabio Di Gian Antonio, not quite close enough through turn 11 this time. So can he set it up at 13, maybe into 14? That's where he was wide last time.
You can see just how Bastianini will lead Bezzecchi going into the final round in Portimao.
These guys are right on the edge in the close brow of the hill going into turn 13. 4 laps remaining.
Brilliant speed here by Martin. It's another PB at this stage of the race, also finding some serious speed.
Yeah, they all bunch up. The top 6, between Di Gian Antonio and Jorge Martin.
Yeah, Martin fancies this. He still feels like there's...
For Bastianini, if Martin wins this race.
Yeah, looks like Bastian.
Further back, Aaron Canet has gone into the top 10 in his home race ahead of Lorenzo Baldassarri. Then it's Buliga, Vierge, Robert, Sam Lowe's. I'm afraid that it would probably take a... Oh, blimey, just as I'm about to say that, I think that
Unfortunate ending to him for his home Grand Prix. Confirmation on your screens then, he's down, and Baldassari. Ben Schneider still on course for that best ever NTS result. He's 8th now, first top 10
go. Almost identical laps there from the top 4 or 5 riders across the line. Is Sam Lowes, with just behind him Augusto Fernandez, who on that last lap was slightly quicker than Sam. Doesn't rob Sam Lowes of that one precious point.
Fernandez has just got to sit tight
at this moment in time. Either way, it wouldn't be a bad day to Anaya Bastianini.
Cracking ride this by Marcel. She's in the last 20 races, dating all the way back to Brno last year when he was on the podium. So it's a rare race so far.
There's some last-minute lunges going to be going on here in Moto 2 with Augusto Fernandez just behind.
Sam Lowes must be an absolute excruciating to score a World Championship point. It will be the most hard-earned World Championship point he's ever scored. Crucial victory, which keeps him firmly in Championship contention. He knows the worth.
And if there is a move coming here from Fabio Di Giannantonio, which could be coming here up at turn 11, Martin will be Martin. This race is on.
Brilliant by the Giannantonio. He made that move 4 or 5 laps to turn 14. We'll track him now down towards the final corner. Is it going to be all safe and solid this time around? Hit the front just at the perfect time. There's going to be 1 lap to go here in Valencia.
He had a bit of a moment there. It's ahead of Bezzecchi and Martin, who's coming.
On Bezzecchi, it could get worse in terms of the championship charge. Moto 3 title rival.
And look at Garceau as well.
He's just waiting to pick up the pieces, isn't he?
Front row seats popped
or 7 bike lengths to defend back to Bezzecchi.
I don't think they've got anything for Di Giannantonio.
No.
He's gone down!
Giannantonio's
can you believe it?
Oh, unbelievable. Fabio Di Giannantonio, the first Moto 2 win in his hands. He crashes out at turn 6, and what a moment for the champion.
Garceau could win this one as yet. We've got a few corners to go. Martin is desperate to find a way through, and he does. They go up to 12. Here comes Garceau as well.
Garceau, it looks like Bezzecchi had a big moment. Was he helped by it?
He's trying to come through. Is he going to hold it across the line?
It's Martin.
Martin gets it.
Unbelievable.
Garceau. For his championship, it will go on to Portimao. What a final lap that was in Moto. He takes 14th. The 2 most precious points he's ever won in Grand Prix racing.
How much, Ginny? He lost 9 points late on there, did the Italian. Fabio Di Giannantonio for the second time ever Moto 2 victory. Jorge Martin at one stage, we thought he was fading out of top 6 contention. Lets it all disappear in the blink of an eye.
Unbelievable.
Just like the Sam Lowes crash out of second place here 1 week ago, wasn't it? Turn 6. It's caught out the very thinking, well, I'm going to win.
Bastianini there will have to try and get the job done in Portugal. It was that last lap for Marco Bezzecchi in terms of this World Championship. From 1st to 3rd.
Speed up rider. He rode an absolutely fantastic race. Good sport chance to win the championship, but he basically needs to win in Portimao and hope that the likes of